Yo! This is obviously going to be one of those videos that is going to be quieter time because it is later at night. But what's good, y'all's Project Man? Today we're back in the video. This is a story time of something literally that happened 2 days ago. Probably technically 3 since it's like 12 now. But this is going to be a story of how I got arrested. Yay! But anyway, I didn't get arrested per se. I mean, but it was a potential. I'll explain. So 3 days ago, technically, I got a speeding ticket, and the thing was, okay, so I was driving towards the street light, which is like the first street light to my house, like after I get out of my neighborhood, and apparently I was speeding. I don't know when, but it was like I went like 30. I got up to, I won't say I went, but I got up to 37 on a 25 speed limit, and I was thinking to myself like, okay, one, I didn't honestly, and I only know this because I ended up getting a speeding ticket, but I was just driving, and okay, I didn't even. Not this is one of those things you don't consciously think. Like you're just thinking to yourself, okay, I'm driving normal. Unless it was one of those days where like I was in a rush, which I wasn't. I was like, okay, I'm just driving normal because I drove in a rush before, but so I'm just driving and it's like cool. I turned at the first light and then boom, blue lights behind me. Now I'm thinking I didn't do nothing wrong because I'm thinking, okay, I turned on the signal light, boom, boom, boom. I'm not thinking I speeded at all. I'm not thinking of speeding as an option at this point. This is why I'm like confused. So I'm like, I'm just driving and I keep on driving and I'm like, all right, maybe there's somebody in front of me or maybe they going after somebody. That's like, that's what they would do. And then as I turn into the freeway where I have to go through to get to my school, I realize, okay, the lights aren't on anymore, but but they're still following me. I'm like, okay, maybe this is me. But then there's a point in the freeway where the car is completely out of sight. Like now the car gets behind me, and he told my mom that it was a traffic light that stopped him, but that's false because the freeway is when he got to the freeway. I saw him literally purposely slow down, and there was nobody got in front of him. He slowed down and got way like out of sight. So he capped on that one. Because we were on the freeway when he got out of sight. So then there's that. I drove there, so I'm like, okay, so he's not following me because the car disappeared. It's not there anymore. It's not like anybody got in front of him. It's like he literally just slowed down and I got way ahead of him. He just slowed down to that degree. I wouldn't even like it didn't come off like, oh, I'm trying to escape. It didn't even come off like that at all. But I drove, and after I got off the freeway, he kind of got right back behind me. And I'm like, man, okay, so maybe this is me because now it's right back behind me. And I'm doing little maneuvers to see if it's me by like getting over. And then I'm like, oh, okay, so this is me. So basically, I get all the way to the school. I park in my parking spot, and then he gets out. Obviously, he's right behind me, gets out, and says, how you doing, this, and that. And then he was like, why didn't you stop earlier? And I'm like, cause you got throw like cap in there, got throw like cap in there. I was like, oh, I didn't see you. I didn't even notice that until like later that, okay, maybe they following me. I didn't even notice till later she was following me. And I sold it well because when he called my mom, he's like, I truly, I truly believe he, didn't see me or whatever, because, it could be anything, they could have had their music up, not looking in the rearview mirror. And I'm like, you got that little cap in there. So, yeah, so he basically is just saying like, okay, because you took as long as you did to like stop, you can get arrested and sent to juvenile, this, and that. I have to take you there or whatever. It's like juvenile detention or something like that. And I'm like, it's funny because it would actually made for a more interesting story if I would have gotten arrested. But anyway, he was like, okay, so basically, I think what would have happened was if I would have stopped at the time he got behind me, I wouldn't have gotten a speeding ticket. I think that's what it was. It would have just been kind of like letting it slide if I would have stopped way earlier. But because it took me all the way to like get to the school, he was like, all right, we ain't gonna do the arresting thing. We gonna find the middle ground, and the middle ground was the speeding ticket. So, I don't know if he could have actually arrested me for that. If anybody comments, let me know in the comments. I don't know about that one, but if he could have done that just because it took me a minute to stop. But anyway, got the speeding ticket or whatever, and this was all like while I gotta go to school, and literally like right after all that happened, like the first class I go to is theater, where I gotta perform my skit with my partner. So like I literally had to reset the second I got right back in there, right back into school. I had to like reset and go, all right, now I gotta remember my well, I remember my lines, but I had to like, kind of refresh yourself for a quick second. All that after all that, I'm just like, wow. And I don't even know how much the speeding ticket is. We gotta contact the number. And then the last thing I say is, so apparently to get it off the record, which we don't want it on the record because obviously it shoots the insurance up, all this other stuff, and men more expensive than women in terms of like insurance. Uh, they just charge more for men, but gotta go to this little driving school for like a day and go through that. My sister had to do it, and now I gotta do it. So I don't know how that's gonna be like. I heard it's just like you just sitting in there looking at all these videos. But yep, that's gonna happen one day. Maybe that'll get a vlog if they allow it. That'll get a vlog in there. But that is my story time. Close this bad boy. Hopefully I didn't take too much of your time. Hopefully that was an entertaining video. Well, I appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe before you get up out of here. Love you guys. Prodigy, and I'm out. Peace. Oh yeah, and by the way, thanks for running up the views more on the prom vlog. Watch that video as well if you just not coming across the channel. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.